This video is about she was his mate but her kiss could kill him. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high, a silver sentinel in the vast sky, casting a luminous glow over the dense woods that cradled the silver moon pack. The air was thick with anticipation, the kind that stirred the primal instincts of wolves. Tonight their world would change forever. Livia stood at the edge of the clearing, her heart pounding like a war drum beneath her ribcage. Her dark hair cascaded over her shoulders, glinting in the moonlight, but it was her eyes that shone with an intensity that could rival the stars. They were the color of the deepest forest, mesmerizing, but also troubled. She felt the weight of destiny pressing down on her, a destiny she had tried to deny. "Olivia, come back," to her brother Ethan called, his voice thick with concern. He was an Omega, a gentle heart of the pack, while she was the last of the rare silver-haired werewolves, born an alpha, destined to lead. "I need to be alone, Ethan." Her voice trembled as she turned to face him, the urgency in her tone layered with an unspoken fear. "Alphas don't run from their responsibilities," he pressed, stepping closer, his brow furrowed. "You know the council is worried, the blood moon is rising, and the pact between packs hangs by a thread." She swallowed hard, biting back the swirling chaos of emotions within her. "It's not the council I fear, it's him." Ethan's expression softened as he realized she meant Kale, the new alpha of a rival pack, the Ironclaws. He was fierce, powerful, and dangerously handsome, a magnetic force that Olivia both coveted and dreaded. "Olivia, you can ignore your feelings," Ethan pleaded, his voice barely a whisper. "He is your mate, you can fight fate." But his kisses she interrupted, her voice rising in panic before she steadied herself. "It could kill me, Ethan, the moment our lips touch. I'll lose control of my own power. I could destroy everything and everyone I love." Ethan stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We'll find a way. We always do. You deserve to be happy. You deserve him." Before Olivia could respond, a rustle in the nearby bushes made them both snap to attention. Shadows danced in the moonlight as Kale stepped into the clearing, his presence commanding and charged with a raw energy that sent a shiver down his spine. "Olivia," he said, his deep voice like molten chocolate, rich and intoxicating. His silver eyes pierced through her, igniting a fire in her belly. "We need to talk." Ethan opened his mouth, but Olivia shook her head, her heart racing. "Ethan, go back to the pack." He hesitated, worry etched on his face. "Olivia, go," she snapped, surprising herself with the edge in her voice. As her brother retreated into the shadows, Olivia felt the weight of the moment descend upon her like a heavy cloak. Kale stepped closer, his gaze unwavering, and Olivia's breath caught in her throat. "I can stop thinking about you," he confessed, his voice low, almost a growl. "Our wolves are restless, they want to unite." "No," she breathed, shaking her head. "You know why we can the consequences of a forbidden union are dire." He took another step closer, his presence overwhelming. "You are my mate, Olivia. You can deny that bond. It is more powerful than any fear." "Powerful enough to destroy me," she whispered, feeling her resistance crumble under the weight of his longing gaze. "What if I hurt you? What if I lose control?" Kale's expression softened, vulnerability creeping into his fierce demeanor. "I trust you. I can handle the darkness inside you, just as you can handle the beast within me. We are stronger together." "But you don't understand," she said, tears pricking at her eyes. "My power is unlike anything you've encountered. If I kiss you, it may unleash something neither of us can contain." "It is worth the risk," he replied, his voice filled with raw sincerity. "Our destinies are intertwined, Olivia. We were meant to be." A silence enveloped them, charged with unspoken emotions and the weight of their choices. Olivia's heart ached, torn between desire and dread. The moon bore witness to their turmoil, its glow illuminating the path of fate that lay ahead. As she opened her mouth to respond, the air crackled with tension. "You don't understand," she finally said, her voice breaking. "I can be the one to bring destruction upon us, I can." His expression hardened, the alpha within him rising in defiance. "You think I fear destruction? I welcome it if it means fighting for you. I would challenge the heavens for your love." The emotion in his voice nearly broke her resolve. She wanted so desperately to reach for him, to close the distance, but fear rooted her in place. "You don't know what you were asking for." "Then let me show you," he said, stepping even closer. "Let me help you face your fears. Together, we can break the chains that bind us. Your power doesn't scare me, it fascinates me." At that moment, the realization hit her like a tidal wave. This was not just a battle between instincts, it was a war of the heart. She could feel the magnetic pull between them, an undeniable connection that threatened to unravel the carefully constructed walls she had built around herself. "Akil," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Livia, please," he urged, his eyes reflecting the moonlight like twin stars. "Don't walk away from this. Don't walk away from us." Before she could respond, he reached out, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. The simple touch ignited her senses, as she felt the world around her fade. It was just the two of them, their souls entwined in a dance as old as time. "It's just one kiss," he murmured, his breath warm against her skin. "If it is too much, I'll let you go. Just one chance to feel what we could be." The primal instinct surged within her, urging her to give in, to succumb to the bond that tethered their fates. But the shadow of her fears loomed large, casting doubt over the moment. "Akil, I—" Before she could finish, he closed the space between them, capturing her lips with his. The kiss was electric, a jolt of energy that surged through them, igniting every nerve ending and awakening the wolf within. But as their connection deepened, an overwhelming surge of power coursed through her. Lady gasped, pulling back, panic flooding her senses. "No, I can't. I am losing control." Kayla's expression shifted from desire to concern, and he gripped her arms, grounding her. "Fight it, Livia, you're stronger than this." But the power was too great, an ancient force that threatened to consume her entirely. She felt herself slipping, the darkness rising within her like a tidal wave, crashing against the fragile walls of her will. "Livia," he shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. "You're not alone." With a final surge of determination, she pushed against the darkness, her heart beating in sync with KLS. "Together," she whispered, and suddenly the chaos subsided, replaced by a warmth that enveloped them both. Breathless, Livia opened her eyes to find Kale staring at her, awe and admiration mingling in his gaze. "You did it." But doubt crept back in, threatening to mother a moment. "What if I hurt you? What if I can't control it?" Kale cupped her face, his touch igniting a fire within her. "You won't. I'll always be here to help you fight it. We'll face everything together." Tears brimmed in Livia's eyes, a mix of joy and fear, but she nodded, her heart swelling with a newfound hope. Together. As they stood under the watchful gaze of the moon, Livia understood that their journey had just begun, a journey filled with love, danger, and the fight for their destiny. But for now, in this moment, they were united, their hearts entwined, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The moon continued its ascent, casting a silvery glow over the silver moon pack as Livia and Kel stood entwined in one another's arms. The air crackled with a mix of emotions, hope, fear, desire, all swirling like the autumn leaves caught in a gentle wind. "Livia," Kale murmured, his forehead resting against hers, "I knew we could do it." You pushed back against the darkness. "But what if next time?" she began, her voice trembling with uncertainty. "What if next time I can control it? What if I hurt you or someone else?" Kale's grip on her tightened, his gaze unwavering, a fierce determination burning in his silver eyes. "You're not just any wolf, Livia. You're more powerful than you realize. It is not just about control. It is about channeling that power with love and intention. Together, we can master it." A soft warmth bloomed in Livia's chest, but the shadows of doubt still loomed large in her mind. "The blood moon is rising, and the council want to stand for our union. They see me as a threat, and you as a traitor. We can't just ignore that." "Then we'll fight for it," he said, fervor lacing his tone. "We'll tell them about our bond. We'll show them it is not a curse but a blessing. We can unite our packs." "But what if they don't listen?" Livia felt a lump in her throat, the weight of their circumstances pressing down on her. "What if they see our love as a betrayal?" Kale stepped back, searching her eyes, the light of the moon reflecting in his silver irises. "Let us give them a reason to listen. We'll prove to them that love is more powerful than fear." As the moonlight illuminated the clearing, Livia felt a flicker of hope ignite in her heart. "You're right, but we need to be cautious. If we go in unprepared, we'll only fuel their hatred." "Agreed," Kale said with a nod. "We'll gather our allies, and we'll face them together." But just as a newfound resolve began to settle in her heart, a distant howl echoed through the trees, piercing the night air, a chilling reminder of the challenges they faced. Kale's expression darkened, and his brows knit together in concern. "That is not just any howl, it is from the Ironclaw pack. They're on the move. Then we need to act quickly, if they come for you." Livia felt the rush of adrenaline course through her veins, her instincts urging her to protect him. "We can't let them separate us." Kale's gaze softened, and he stepped closer, his breath warm against her skin. "Together, remember, we need to focus on our packs and keep them safe." With a final glance at each other, They set off towards the heart of the Silvermoon territory, the wolves eager to unite and defend what was theirs. The Silvermoon pack gathered in a clearing, the tension palpable as Olivia and Cale stepped into the circle, their hands intertwined. Ethan stood at the front, worryish on his face. "Olivia, Cale, what is happening? We heard the howl." They re close. Olivia took a deep breath, her heart racing. "I believe the Ironclaw pack is coming for us to challenge our union, but we can't let fear tear us apart. We need to unite." The council want to accept an alliance with them. One of the elders interrupted, his voice trembling with authority. "The LL see it as a sign of weakness, or a sign of strength," Cale interjected, stepping forward, his alpha or igniting the crowd. "We can let our past dictate our future. We can show them that love can conquer hate." "Love?" Another elder scoffed. "Love doesn't win battles, strength does. You're risking everything for a fleeting feeling." Olivia felt Cale's hand tighten around hers, his presence grounding hers, her heart raced. "This isn't just a feeling, this is destiny. Our destinies are intertwined, and together, we reach stronger." "But what if you lose control?" The voice rang out from the back, whispers of doubt rippling through the crowd. "I want tea," Olivia said fiercely, her heart pounding in her chest. "I can promise that it will be easy, but I will fight for my love for us. Together, we can break the chains of fear." The murmurs of uncertainty faded, replaced by a flicker of hope as the pack considered her words. "Then we stand with you," Ethan said, stepping forward with unwavering support. "We will fight for what is right." With renewed determination, the pack rallied around them, voices rising in unity. They were ready to face the Ironclaw pack, ready to defend their love and their future. That night, the blood moon bathed the forest in a deep crimson hue, an omen of the impending confrontation. As the Ironclaw pack approached the Silvermoon territory, tension crackled in the air, both packs on high alert. Cale and Olivia stood at the forefront, hearts racing as they prepared for the battle that loomed ahead. "They're here," Cale growled under his breath, his wolf instinct sharpening. "Stay close." As shadows moved through the trees, the opposing pack emerged, led by a powerful figure with piercing green eyes. Damon, Cale's brother and alpha of the Ironclaws. Olivia felt the chill run down her spine as he approached, his gaze flickering between her and Cale. "Brother," Damon said, his voice dripping with disdain, "have you truly lost your mind, betraying your own kind for a mere Omega?" "Olivia is not a mere Omega," Cale replied, stepping forward, his stance unwavering. "She is my mate, and our love isn't something you can dismiss." Damon's laughter echoed through the clearing. "Love, you think that is enough to unite our packs? You weak Cale, let her go, or face the consequences." Lydia felt a surge of fear, but she held her ground beside Cale, the bond between them strengthening her resolve. "We are not afraid of you, Damon. Our love is stronger than your hatred." "Love won't protect you from my wrath," Damon spat, his green eyes glinting with malice. "You'll regret this." With a swift motion, he signaled his pack to advance, and chaos erupted in an instant. Olivia and Cale fought side by side, their instincts guiding them as they navigated the chaos of battle. She could feel the power surging within her, igniting with each blow, each clash of wolves. "Stay focused," Cale shouted, his voice a beacon of strength amidst the turmoil. "We're in this together." Olivia nodded, her heart racing. With each moment, she felt the darkness swell within her, but it was different this time. It wasn't a threat, it was a dance of power fueled by love and trust. As the battle raged on, Olivia and Cale found themselves back to back, defending against the onslaught from both sides. "Can you feel it?" Cale shouted over the chaos, his eyes burning with intensity. "We reconnected, Olivia, use it." "I am trying," she cried, her voice strained as she fought against the rising power within her that begged to be unleashed. "But together, remember," he urged, his voice steady, anchoring her in the storm. With a surge of determination, Olivia channeled her energy, focusing on Cale, their hearts beating in rhythm. She let the darkness rise, guiding it with love instead of fear. In a brilliant flash, their combined power erupted, a wave of energy that swept through the battlefield, knocking back both packs. The wolf within her roared in triumph, and for the first time, she felt whole a force to be reckoned with. As the dust settled, Olivia and Cale stood together, breathless, their eyes locking in a moment of pure understanding. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger. Damon lay at their feet, the remnants of his fury fading as he struggled to rise. "How is this possible?" he gasped, his green eyes wide with disbelief. Olivia stepped forward, defiance radiating from her core. "Because love conquers all, this bond is our strength." As the Ironclaw pack retreated, the Silvermoon pack stood united, their spirits lifted. Livy turned to Kale, her heart swelling with gratitude and love. "We did it," she whispered, tears of relief streaming down her cheeks. "Yes, we did," he replied, pulling her into a fierce embrace. "And we'll all keep fighting, not just for us, but for everyone we love." In that moment, surrounded by their pack, Livia understood that their journey had just begun. They would face challenges, betrayals, and heartbreak, but together, they would rewrite their destinies, forging a future illuminated by a love that no darkness could extinguish. As dawn broke over the Silver Moon Pack's territory, the first rays of sunshine filtered through the trees, painting the ground in hues of gold and green. Livia stood on the edge of the clearing, her heart still racing from the battle that had tested their love and their strength. The remnants of the night lingered in the air, charged with the energy of their victory over the Ironcoal Pack. Kale approached her, his presence like a warm blanket that enveloped her. "You okay?" he asked, concern etched in the lines of his face. The silver of his eyes glinted, mirroring the morning light, yet there was a shadow in his gaze, a reminder of the dangers they had just faced. "I will be," Livia replied softly, turning to meet his gaze. "I can shake the feeling that this isn't tea over. Damn, when tea let it in like this." He stepped closer, instinctively wrapping his arms around her waist. "Then we prepare for whatever comes next, together." The sincerity in his voice soothed her frayed nerves, igniting a flicker of hope amidst her dread. "What if they come back? What if they bring more wolves?" she murmured, leaning into his warmth, needing that connection more than ever. "What if they come for you?" Kale's grip tightened, his voice steady. "We'll all defend our pack, you and I. We've shown them our power. They can break us, Livia." For a moment, silence enveloped them, the tranquility of the early morning contrasting sharply with the chaos of the previous night. As she gazed into Kale's eyes, her heart raced, not just from fear, but from a burgeoning love that had blossomed amidst turmoil. "I love you, Kale," she whispered, feeling the weight of her confession. His expression softened, and he brushed a thumb across her cheek. "I love you too, Livia, more than anything. You are my mate, and that bond is unbreakable." Just then, Ethan emerged from the trees, his brow furrowed with concern. "Livia, Kale, you need to see this." The urgency in his voice pulled them apart, and Livia felt a pang of loss at the sudden distance. "What is it?" Livia asked, her heart racing again, worried that another threat loomed just beyond the horizon. Ethan hesitated, glancing over his shoulder as if searching for intruders. "It is about Damon. He is not just going to regroup, he is planning something," I heard whispers from the pack. Livia's stomach sank. "What kind of something?" "In alliance with other packs, he is telling them that our love is a threat to all werewolves. He is rallying them against us," Ethan said, his voice trembling. "He wants to bring us down." Hale stepped forward, his expression hardening. "We won't let him. We will confront him, and we'll show them that love is not a weakness." "What if it is too late?" Livia interjected, a glimmer of panic rising in her chest. "What if we outnumbered?" "Then we fight for our love," Kale declared fiercely. "We gather allies of our own. We show them the strength of our bond." Ethan nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "I believe in you both. If we can unite our pack, we can reach out to others. We reach stronger together." As the sun continued to rise, their resolve solidified. They would not cower in fear. Instead, they would forge alliances and stand fast against whatever darkness Damon sought to unleash. The next few days passed in a whirlwind of activity as the Silvermoon Pack prepared for the challenges ahead. They sent messengers to neighboring packs, seeking out those who might stand beside them. Livia felt the sense of purpose blooming inside her, fanning the flames of hope and determination. One evening, as they gathered around the fire, Kale stood before the pack and addressed them with an intensity that ignited their spirits. "Tonight, we fight not just for ourselves, but for a future where love doesn't have to hide in the shadows. Together, we will show the world that we are united. We will not be broken." A chorus of howls sliced through the night, echoing the strength of their conviction. Livia's heart swelled with pride as she watched her pack rally around Kale, their faith unwavering. She stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. "My dear Silvermoon family," she began, her voice steady despite the flutter of nerves in her stomach. "We have faced darkness before, and we will face it again, but we have something they don't, a bond forged in love. Let that fuel our fight, let that be our strength." As the fire crackled, they shared stories of hope, laughter, and the promise of a brighter future. Livy could sense the power of their unity, the bond that tied them all together in their shared struggles. However, as the days turned into weeks, the threat of the Ironclaw Pack loomed ever closer. Whispers of Damonesque movements reached their ears like the rustling of leaves. He was gathering forces, and Livy could feel the tension gripping the air. One night, as Livia and Kale stood on a ridge overlooking their territory, she sensed the storm brewing within her. Kale, what if they attack before we be ready? What if I can control my power when the time comes? He turned to her, his expression tender yet fierce. You've come so far, Livia. We've faced the darkness together. Trust in our bond. It will guide you. You can control it. But what if I lose you in the chaos? She whispered, the vulnerability of her heart laid bare. What if I hurt you? He kept her face in his hands, his silver eyes searching hers. You want tea, I promise you, Livia. I will always be your anchor, and I will fight by your side, no matter what. I am scared, she admitted, tears brimming in her eyes. Scared of losing everything, losing you. Then let us make a plan, Kale said, his voice strong and comforting. We all prepare for every scenario. We all train together, harness your power. I won't let you go through this alone. As the moon rose high in the sky, they began to strategize, laying out plans for every possible attack, honing their instincts, and ensuring the pack was ready for an all-out confrontation. They trained under the cover of night, testing their limits and forging new bonds of trust. But in the shadows, betrayal simmered. Livia sensed whispers in the dark corners of the pack, doubt, fear, and discontent. Trust wavered as some questioned the union, believing it was a curse that would bring them nothing but ruin. One evening, as they prepared for another training session, an elder approached Livia with a grave expression. Livia, you must understand. There are those who do not support this union. They fear for our future. Then we will show them that love is our strength, she replied, her heart racing. We can let fear tear us apart. The elder sighed, his shoulders heavy with the burden of leadership. It is not just fear, it is survival. You must tread carefully. Loyalty is fragile when it comes to power. Everyone has a choice, Livia insisted, determination boiling within her. If they choose to turn against us, then we will fight for our pack. We won't let betrayal win. But as the days passed, doubts festered among some, whispers growing louder. Livia felt the weight of betrayal inching closer, and her heart sank at the thought of losing the very people she fought to protect. One fateful night, as the pack gathered around the fire, an explosion of tension filled the air. A faction of wolves stepped forward, led by one of the elders. This union is a death sentence. We must break the connection before it destroys us all. Hale stepped in front of Livia, his expression fierce, his wolf instincts roaring to life. This union is our strength. You can turn your backs on love. But the dissenters were relentless, their voices rising in chaos. We won't let you lead us to ruin. We refuse to stand with a traitor. Livia's heart shattered at their words, the betrayal cutting deeper than any blade. You think I want to bring destruction? I am fighting for all of us. Voices clashed, emotions flared, and the pack splintered as divisions formed. Livia felt herself losing ground, her vision narrowing as her instinct screamed at her to fight back. But she couldn't allow chaos to consume her. Enough. Hale roared, his voice commanding. We will not let fear wage war among us. Love does not make us weak, it makes us strong. I will not let this divide us. The tension hung heavy in the air, a palpable force as they faced one another, wolves on edge. Livia's heart raced, fear gripping her as she stepped forward. This union is not just about Kale and me, it is about forging a future together. That is what being a pack means. Slowly, the murmurs of dissent began to fade as the desire for unity ignited a flicker of hope in their hearts. Voices of support rose, echoing the bonds they have forged over. As the flames flickered in the darkness, casting shadows on the faces of the Silvermoon pack, Livia felt the weight of their collective uncertainty. The fire crackled, echoing the tension that hung in the air like a thick fog. She stood beside Kale, her heart pounding, acutely aware of the division that threatened to tear them apart. Why can't they see? Livia murmured, her voice barely above a whisper, the tremor betraying her anxiety. We're fighting for a future that can bring us all together, a future where love is the foundation of our strength. Hale's hand found hers, squeezing tightly, grounding her. His silver eyes shone with determination. They will see, Livia. They have to. We just need to show them. But how? She gazed into the flickering flames, her thoughts swelling like the embers rising into the night sky. What if the dissenters' fears are justified? What if we do bring destruction upon them? Kale stepped closer, his warmth enveloping her. If we don't fight for what we believe in, then we already lost. His voice was steady, infused with a fervor that ignited something deep within her. We won't let fear dictate our destiny. Destiny, she echoed, a word that felt heavy yet intoxicating. What if it is a cruel twist? What if we were meant to fall apart? He brushed his fingers against her cheek, igniting a spark that coursed through her. Then let us defy it. Let us be the force that rewrites our fate. As the night deepened, Livia's resolve hardened, the shadows of doubt pushed back by the light of Kale's unwavering faith. They needed to unite their pack and face the impending storm that Damon had orchestrated. The time for action was now. The following day, they gathered the remaining loyal members of the Silvermoon pack, a mix of determination and trepidation reflected in their eyes. Livia stood at the forefront, her heart racing as she faced her pack, each familiar face a reminder of what was at stake. "Thank you for standing by us," she began, her voice strong despite the tremor of vulnerability lurking beneath. "Together, we've faced darkness before, but now we must confront the fear that threatens to fracture us. The Iron Cloak pack is preparing to come for us, and we need to be ready." A murmuring of agreement flowed through the gathered wolves, but there were skeptical eyes too. The elder who had opposed them the night before stepped forward, his expression rigid. "And what makes you think your love will save us, Livia? Love doesn't win battles." "Love is only a part of it," Kale interjected, stepping beside her, radiating strength. "It is the bond we share as a pack that will make us unstoppable. We must harness every ounce of our power, and that begins with trust." "But trust is fragile," the elder countered, his voice thick with skepticism. "What if this union leads to betrayal? What if we lose you both?" Livia's heart twisted painfully at the thought. "What if we don't try? What if we stand divided, and it is too late? We've already seen what happens when we let fear take control." She turned her gaze to her pack, the wolves she had grown up with, those who had fought beside her. "We can't let fear dictate our future. We must choose love, choose unity." The elder's silence hung in the air, and a murmuring of agreement began to ripple through the pack. Livia felt a flicker of hope reignite within her. "Let us show them the strength of our bond," she continued, her voice growing stronger with each word. "Let us prepare for whatever comes our way together." As they began to strategize, Livia felt the weight of her responsibility grow heavier. She and Chaos spent hours training their pack, honing their instincts and their unity, learning to draw upon the strength that came from their bond. The power that surged through them during their training sessions was electrifying, a force that promised to protect them. Days turned into weeks, and the tension in the air thickened as the Iron Cloak pack closed in. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows as Livia and Kale prepared their pack for the inevitable clash. The moon was rising, a blood moon that would herald their confrontation. On the eve of battle, Livia found herself standing on a hill overlooking their territory, the cool breeze brushing against her skin. Kale joined her, his presence a comforting anchor. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice low and sincere. "I am terrified," she admitted, her heart pounding. "What if I can't control it? What if I hurt you or someone else?" Kale turned to her, cupping her face in his hands, his expression fierce yet tender. "You want tea. I believe in you. We'll face this together. Remember what we've learned, trust in our bond." Livia felt a rush of warmth at his words, but the flicker of doubt still lingered. "Do you think the others will stand with us, with me?" "They will see the truth when we stand our ground," he assured her. "Our love is powerful, and it is time for them to understand that fear has no place among us." As night fell, they gathered once more. The Silvermoon pack stood poised, ready for the confrontation that awaited them. Livia glanced around at the familiar faces, the uncertainty in their eyes igniting a spark of determination within her. "Tonight, we stand united," she spoke, her voice echoing through the clearing. "We will fight not just for our love, but for our future. We want to let the darkness take our light. Together, we are stronger." With their hearts aligned, the wolves howled, a symphony of unity that resonated deep within the forest. As the moon rose high, casting a haunting glow over the land, Livia felt the power surging within her, a force of nature ready to be unleashed. The Iron Cloak pack appeared at the edge of their territory, shadowy figures against the moonlit backdrop. Livia felt dread settle in her chest as her gaze landed on Damon, his piercing green eyes cutting through the darkness like a blade. "You've come to face your fate," Damon called out, his voice echoing through the clearing. "You think love will save you? You read delusional." Kale stepped forward, defiance radiating from his every pore. "We'll show you that love is our greatest strength. It is not a weakness, it is our unbreakable bond." Damon's laughter sliced through the tension. "Then let us end this. I hope you're ready to watch your precious pack fall apart." With a commanding howl, Damon signaled his pack to attack. Chaos erupted as the two packs collided, a storm of fur and fury. Livia fought alongside Kale, their movements synchronized, a testament to the bond they shared. She felt the darkness within her rise, but this time it was different. It was powerful, unyielding, and fueled by love. "Stay close," Kale shouted, his voice a beacon of strength amidst the chaos. "We can do this together." Livia nodded, her heart racing as she pushed against the tide of fear. She felt the energy swelling around her, the bond between her and Kale amplifying their strength. In that moment, she realized that their love had the power to overcome even the darkest of obstacles. With every strike, every clash of power, she channeled her energy, focusing on Kale, their hearts beating in sync. Together, they unleashed a wave of energy that surged through the battlefield, pushing back their enemies. As the dust began to settle, Olivia found herself standing beside Kale, breathless and alive. The Ironclaw pack was retreating, their fear palpable in the air. Damon lay on the ground, his expression a mix of disbelief and fury. "How could this happen?" he gasped, struggling to rise. "You are nothing but a traitor." Olivia stepped forward, refusing to back down. "Your hatred cannot extinguish our love. We are stronger than you realize." With the Ironclaw pack fleeing into the night, the Silvermoon pack stood united, the echoes of their victory ringing through the air. Olivia turned to Kale, tears of relief streaming down her cheeks, her heart swelling with gratitude and love. "We did it," she whispered, the weight of their triumph crashing over her. "Yes," he replied, pulling her into his embrace, the warmth of his body a shield against the lingering shadows. "And we will keep fighting, not just for us, but for everyone we love." As dawn broke over the Silvermoon pack territory, Olivia understood that their journey was far from over. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, forging a future illuminated by love, a love that no darkness could extinguish.